What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are shining our spotlight on an oldie but a goodie. It is Mutant Seth. Seth is one of my mains. He is one of my answers to a lot of the questions that come up during feud. Unfortunately, the last couple of feuds for the Flash feud, I wasn't able to use Powerhouses nearly as much as I wanted to, but hopefully in the future that changes. Seth is my answer for Showboat Taker. The reason why he's my answer for Showboat Taker is he can stack quickly with his Titan plate, he blows up the board with the Sheriff's badge, and it's easy peasy lemon parcheesi. Now, if occurrence happens where, yellow is reduced for feud perks and stuff like that, I do go with the oldie but goodie on the triple red. It's not nearly as effective as what it used to be, especially at 6-star silver healths, but it still gets the job done. So today we're going to take a look at the old setup, and then we're going to look at the setup that I use. So clearly you're seeing just a brief glimpse of that as I switch around these moves, but it comes with time. So basically this used to be Ran. This was the original boss destroyer. So what you would do is you'd slap the NWO plate on Seth Rollins, and you would sit there and you would just spam mutated stump polar. You just spam it constantly over and over and over and over and over again. And the glitch happened where the NWO plate was filling up the submission damage instead of the finisher and the straight sidekick like it's supposed to. That glitch went on for a few months, actually, quite a while. Mutant Seth was the answer for all boss battles at the beginning of the boss battle. Now, not so much. So with this build, the reason I don't generally go for this one is it is double MP required. So that's something I don't necessarily like. I never like using two trainers for one deal. If I have to, I will, but it's not really one of those things where I like to do it too often. Now, you can switch out. Give me a second here. There we go. You can switch out Logan Paul for Shelton Benjamin if you so choose. I'm putting in Logan because it's the strongest one I've got out of the two. So we're going with Butch, Sting, Powerhouse Lashley, and Logan Paul, which is putting our move for a mutated Stomp Polar. We're generating 17 random gems and 2 red submission gems and doing 396,000 damage for 8 turns. That is pretty strong. Early 8, 16, 24, 32, or no, sorry. That's 4, 8, 16, 24, 32. Yeah, I was right. So we're looking at about 3.2 million damage, maybe a little bit higher each turn. With 6-star silvers, that does take a minute. But that's the reason why we have the straight sidekick. We're dealing 168,000 damage and increasing our red gem damage by 100%. By hitting the mutated stomp and hitting the straight sidekick, we're repeating this cycle. We're going to about 200% towards the end of the day unless we get pinned. The mutated stomp, which is our finisher, deals 302,000 damage and choose a 4x1 area to destroy. This is really just to kind of end the fight a little bit quicker. Not necessary. It's just kind of there. If you so choose, you can go and switch out to either the Falcon Arrow or the Frog Splash if you really feel it necessary. You can also do the Angled Blockbuster. You can just basically add any of these moves to this instead of the Mutated Stomp. Really, that's only truly there if we miss on the Mutated Stomp Polar, and we never really miss there. Our belt normally is double Furied up. Right now I took his medals off because I wasn't using him very often, but that's neither here nor there anymore. So let's go in against our favorite punching bag, Sami Zayn. We're going to knock his block off a little bit. Now, this one won't take nearly as long because he's 6-star bronze. Against the 6-star silver, like I said, this does take a hot minute. I had to use this for one feud, and I hated every second of using it. It is well past its prime. As you can see, sometimes it does work out not in our favor, but mostly in there, so we didn't even get ticks down. This is why it lacks consistency. But that's what also makes Seth severely balanced, is the fact that people can kick out of this. Omos plate is one of the weaker portions to this because it will generate red gems. Basically, if someone has a plate, they're going to be using that's a generator. It will generate enough that it will either break everything all at once or it'll take less time. I have seen him miss few and far between. Most of the time when the AI runs this, it runs it to absolute perfection, and it's just a time waster. That's really essentially what you want this for, is just to waste people's times. And this would be the end of it right here. So with a 2 times speed up button, it's not really that bad. It still does the job like it used to back in the heyday. But now we are going to switch over to what I believe is his bread and butter. This is the moveset that I use consistently to drop Showboat Takers turn 1. It takes a little bit of time, but not nearly as much as you would think. So, to do a quick layout here, and load out, bam, because we don't have to do much. Switch those off, switch this to this one. There we go. Okay, so we're going to look at the belt real quick. The belt is set up as such. We have our Titan plate here. When you make 8 or more blast gems, increase the damage of all your gems by 200%. That pairs with the Sheriff's Badge plate. Whenever you break 15 or more red gems, generate 30 yellows. So essentially what we're doing here is we're taking the Falcon Arrow, which makes 10 random gems into blast gems. We're putting that out on the field, hoping for a good board. This moveset is board dependent, but it can still get the job done if it only triggers one time. Our Frog Splash, we're going to deal 136,000 damage and destroy 7 random blast gems. The pin bar will not move. That is critical. What can happen here, and I've had this happen multiple times, is you hit the Falcon Arrow, you hit the Frog Splash, the board explodes. Falcon Arrow, Frog Splash, refill right back up, and you do it again. I have set this off 4 times in a row before, and it was glorious damage. So you do the Falcon Arrow, you do the Frog Splash until you cannot do them anymore. Now, if it does set up, and it may happen in this run, we don't know. If it happens where the Falcon Arrow charges up completely, but the Frog Splash is just shy, the Turnbuckle Head Slams, where we're going to deal 125,000 damage and choose 11 gems to make into red gems. What we're going to do is we're going to still pop the Falcon Arrow, dropping out 10 more, triggering the Titan plate once again. Then we're using the Turnbuckle Head Slams to fill up the board with as many yellow breaks as possible to trigger the Sheriff's Badge. That normally ends the fight very quickly. I have had him hit for 50 plus million just because of the fact I just kept recycling. It was glorious. I cannot tell you if it's going to happen now because 1, the belt is not fully put together, but 2, it's very few and far between where you're going to hit it 4 or 5 times in a row. 2, 3 times maybe, that is the most common. So we're looking at the board here. We don't see very much, so we're going to hope for a good cascade here. This can flounder. I have had it flounder a couple of times, so make sure to take props if you're running this setup, just in case bad things happen to good people. We have 1 trigger right now because the cascade allowed us to have yellow. Hitting that, dropping that down. Hit it again. Let's see what comes of this. Are we going to have a beautiful day? It looks like we're going to have another beautiful day. Trigger number 3. His health is already gone. We're just going to keep going. Why? Because we can. There's really no reason to not to, unless I just want to end the fight now. But there we go. So we have 3 triggers, and then we're going to come here, and we're just going to connect everything. Connect all the dots. Every single one, all the time, every day. Bam. Strike that there. He's already in the red. We don't have to worry. We're already going to blow up the board again. Bam. Let's see what the damage looks like. 12 million damage. So we did essentially 27 million damage total because I believe his health started off at 13. Glorious, glorious. And this is the reason why Seth is my main powerhouse as of this moment. Hall of Fame Triple H is right there. He's going to be the next video. But Mutant Seth with the Titan plate and the Sheriff's Badge is nothing to bat an eye at. His armor defense here is only 20%, so that didn't even play any semblance of a role. What I might wind up doing is I might wind up stripping KO of his belt, which is 40%, and putting it on Mutant Seth just for shits and giggles, or Ray. I think I'm going to strip Ray. I'm going to strip Ray of his title or of his belt, and I'm going to put the defensive belt back on Ray, and then add the 2 plates over here, which should do some justice. That will increase the damage more and make him far more viable. Always gem damage with this build. 100% don't do takedowns, don't do move trainers. It's solely focused on gems. Now, if you want to get spicier, you can switch off Zombie Bianca for Hall of Fame Taker. That's another route you could go. Let's see here. Let's see if we have generators. I don't think I have anything that generates blast gems outside of Acro Ray. That would be my only thing is more blast gems. So it looks like Acro Ray is the only solution to this. Is there anything I'm missing? Nope, not currently available. But yeah, the only thing I would actually switch out for this is you could, like I said, go Hall of Fame Taker for the Sheriff's Badge increase. You could go Braun Strowman. You can go Santa Hogan if Santa Hogan's high enough. I don't recommend that, but you can. There are certain scenarios where you do need to have Santa Hogan on here for the +1 MP charge based off the feud lineup and what the line bonus is. So with all of that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and another look at our Seth Rollins, an oldie but a goodie. With all that being said, Seth and I are going to leave you the same way I always leave you. Life can be fun if you allow it to be. We'll see you in the next video.